know, hey, can I talk to you? Yeah, yada yada yada. Well, like I said, there's only two of us left, and we kind of figured it out. And like I said, I figured it out yesterday. I mean, I should have. I mean, I knew what it was, but I guess I didn't want to face it. All right, it's like I said, the Migos, they really are not really. I don't think. These Migos doing it, but I'm telling you, they're not gonna be, you know, feeling what like the Democrats think. Cause basically, it's like you holding them hostage now. Cause you gonna make them, and it's not like their dream. Like the regular immigrants from the back in the day. Remember Ellis Island? We saw the movies. They wanted to come here. Matter of fact, Titanic, Leo. And you can say, well, maybe it is their dream to come in here, yeah, I doubt it. They've been hearing the stories of the other, and like I said, those Migos really didn't have no boss. And think about it, who would like not do? That's why they seem to be hard workers. You're getting this money tax free, and you're basically on an honor system. You come in at 7, leave at 3:30. That's construction time, right? That's construction hours, whatever. Of course, you're not gonna goddamn, fuck that up. You're making all this money. 5 years, you can go home. So of course, you're gonna show up on time and go, stay till you're supposed to leave. Go to break when you're supposed to. Now it's all starting to make sense, right? So of course, they seem to be good hard workers. Even the orange pickers, like Nancy Pelosi said, who gonna pick the oranges and the grapes? They get all this money, right, to do that shit. So yeah, you gonna do it, and because you going back home, like they try to, the rich Democrats say the Americans don't want to do that job. No, no, because while they picking these oranges, they know they going back home in a couple of years, rich as fuck. If we as niggas and poor white folks can sneak into Canada or Mexico and pick some kind of fruit and come back home 10 times richer after 4 years, and you had fun, you worked hard, you got off work, you played hard, they drink their cerveza, tequila, they basically having a ball. So no, they don't care about picking oranges. That's what it didn't, none of us really realized it, but that's why they don't care. That's, well, didn't, but these Migos, they trying to make them do they trying to turn them into us, and they gonna do just like us. They not doing that shit, that back breaking labor, and there's no end. With the Democrats, what they try to do, there's no end to the back break. You can't see no. It's mental anguish as well as physical. You're gonna be stuck there making this little bit of money forever. There ain't nobody gonna come to here for that. The ones who came, 5 years ago with a skill, a plumber or whatever, they saw an end to it. And on top of that, they saw a goal. They had an end game. And the end game is richer. You're richer. They don't, who knows, maybe they can go back home and start their own business, whatever. They got all this money. They not finna come here and just work at Walmart or Tyson Chicken. That's not the American dream. The American dream was back in the day, a husband and wife and what, 2.3 kids. And like they point out, in the 40s and 30s and 1920s, black people had a higher marriage rate than anybody in the United States. That's why like they said, that's where the welfare, they brought in the Democrats couldn't stand that shit, you know. But anyway, like I said, we all work today. They got their little bit of money's worth out of all us, the Migos and me. But anyway, earlier, like I said, what I was telling, they did so much. I can't even tell it all. The gang stalking. But uh She asked me for it. They still own this sharing. And okay, so I thought about it. Like they every time they do something, trying to use witchcraft to seem that poor shit. We supposed to help the. Oh, cause matter of fact, two of the guys had a conversation with me. Two of the electricians. They're not gonna be there. They're just rebuilt. Like I said, they're still rebuilding the equipment. And so they're about my age. Well, actually, they're y'all. We would have been like if we all lived together. We would have been. Matter of fact, that's how he started the conversation. He's like, "Oh, you look like somebody I went to school with." Yeah, I'm like, oh, "Okay, yeah, you doing the gang stalker shit." But then we said what year. So they both of them was like a couple of years older than me. So I'm like, yeah, we would have been in the same high school, but they would have been seniors and a junior. Now I'd have been a freshman. But I'm like, nah, I'm not. I ain't say I'm not from here. You gangs, but actually, it ended up nice. They ended up, you know, listening and actually telling me, and I don't think he was being sarcastic. He really did. They're breaking down. They was upset, I think, but they're really breaking down, like starting. I think I'm getting these motherfuckers starting to listen. These country, especially I told you, the country boys, they gonna listen. The country white boys, they starting to listen. So we had a little conversation. Matter of fact, one of them pull out like Steve Harvey. I gotta tell him tomorrow. Like, bro, don't listen to these celebrities and Steve Harvey. You know damn well they made him pull up Steve Harvey. And it's not that we just hate Steve Harvey. He's a phony. He's a devil worshiper like the rest. But I ain't even gonna go into all that. There's a whole. I was, but I just don't feel like it. I'm talking. I want to go back to her asking me to borrow my car at lunchtime. Can I borrow your car? And I'm like, I didn't laugh at her. I was serious. I'm like, no, insurance. You're not on my insurance, and I'm not. And I'm still paying for this. I learned as a kid. That's another thing. In my generation, I heard stories about not insurance in the '80s. I think it was a relative of ours, a female, and that was actually rental car insurance. So I always knew if you rent a car, get insurance. Ever since I was a kid, like 10, 11, I heard the horror story of her having to pay. There's a black ass cat. Her having to pay for a car that she can't drive. And all she had to do was pay and this was the '80s, so the insurance probably like $3 extra a day. Because I remember the conversation, and so I always knew, to this day, I get insurance on anything, my phone, my car. You get insurance. You gonna pay for that shit, and you ain't got it. But anyway, so I told her. She said, oh, "Okay, yeah, I understood." She ain't keep pressing. But then I went into, but actually, that's it. So as I got home, they had a car, the Mustang. They did. It's on the camera. I ain't finna pull it up, but it's on the camera. They had the same exact color I had. If you go to my first videos, the gray and black rims, same exact. Because I brought it up. I'm like, man, they done wrecked so many cars and since I've been here, and this and that, and I'm like, if you wreck this car, back in my day, what they would have said to her is like, no, because I like you, and if you wreck my car, I'm gonna have to do something. I know you ain't gonna have the money. Yeah, it's like, so to keep it cool, to stay friends, I can't let you get my car. And then she talked about, well, my folks, hey, see, that's what I'm saying. They always doing you know, a sad situation. And I'm like, your folks, whoever you laid up with, your significant other, if they can't come get you and you the one working, in this day and age, then you need to find another folks. You need some new folks. If your folks, while you come to me, someone you just met a week and a half ago, to ask if you could, I really, I'm like, you look like just, but see, it's not just gang stalking. I tell you, that's why I said I seen it and heard it before. That's where I get that from. That they would have looked at her like people have the nerve to do that. Some of these black folks, they bar. Matter of fact, it was Friday, right? Chris Tucker, you borrow a cup of sugar. You borrow my car. His car was raggedy, right? Smoking. Bob, I'm thinking maybe, a couple of dollars for lunch, even though we got paid already for this week, about $600-700. But you, you, or can I take you somewhere at lunchtime? She said at lunch, can you borrow that? Whoa, 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 whoa. How you fix your mouth to even say something like that? That's what they used to say back in the day. That's what your mama would tell you before you get a whooping. How you fix your mouth to even say something like that? It's like, I'm like, I thought she's gonna say, "Well, can you take me?" And I don't like leaving because I like sitting on my ass for lunchtime, and that's why I bring my lunch so I can just sit. They be leaving. The young folks, they like leaving, especially we got an hour. It's like cool to them, being cool. I'm like, I've been learned. I don't like that leaving shit, going to get McDonald's or whatever. Plus, it costs more. I'm good. I'm gonna sit right here for the whole hour. But but I would have did it if she would have said, can you take me here right quick? I'd have said, all right, But she I borrowed a car. I said, nah, ain't no way in hell. I don't care how good a driver you think you are. Somebody wrecked my shit. Either way, and the way they drive now, they ain't got no insurance. But and then okay, so I'm thinking you can ask me for a car, but the dude, like I said, little buddy, he making $25 an hour. Why ain't you picking his brain? Like what company you work for? Get the number, because I know for a fact they'll at least tell you. You be like, yeah, I ain't got no experience, but how do you even get on? Where do I start? Because I'm pretty sure they're gonna be actively like, yeah, we need, you know, heavy machinery operators. Why ain't you asking him how, where you went to school, where you did this, the path that you took, Mr. He the one with all them fantastic stories about cases and this and that. And that's another thing. They're still on this where everything is something about some kind of competition. You know, not just this is the time. Everything is about some kind of competition. So they even got Buddy down there. Because remember I just showed you I went to the Chinese restaurant because I ain't feel like cooking. Because like I said, is that's what I'm saying. So what are they gonna do? That's what everybody's seeing, that this isn't about black people getting money. This is about them feeling like somebody is in competition with them. Like everything is a competition, and they still do. I mean, they still do it, even though they're busted out. So they're still showing that they don't care nothing about hard work. They don't care nothing about money. Everything is about, if I do something, they got to do it too. I don't see. Oh, because matter of fact, yeah, they wore this. For the last 3 days, they wore. I would choose my outfit, whatever, pair of pants that's clean, cause this shit dusty as hell. And they, gotta have. They wear the same thing, act like me. So how has that enriched you? The mocking me in the last 2 weeks. And as a matter of fact, you know what? Every day after we got off work, since the first day, I do the same thing I do on any job. Like I said, I change my steel toes and get back in the car, and this and that. So to them, it's supposed to be like some kind of show, like I'm showing off or whatever. But I guess two of them had to learn the hard way that mocking me. Oh, that's another thing. They can't keep up. A lot of them, I think they can't keep up. Like I said, the first 4 days or 5 days or the first week, remember, they can't get the machine right. The machine right, this shit ain't running. So we just was fucking around. And so they really thought once shit get started, they was gonna be like me, just cause every time we got off, they came to their car, you know, and we opened the door, and I got my boots in here. It's dark as fuck, but my boots. and this and that, and so they act like like I'm perpetrating or something, like I'm tired of, whatever. But now we've been running for the last 2 days. They can't handle it. I told, but you know what? I thought about it today. I did keep telling them it's gonna be easy, and yeah, it's easy for me. But I'm sore right now too. But I can handle it. This is nothing. These motherfuckers. This is just the second day, and for them, they gonna be there. I don't know how well if they make it. I don't know how long they gonna be able to take it. They thought that the gang stalkers told them just acting like me, changing their clothes when they get off, this and that, changing your shirt. But now that the machine is running, and also they got to gang stalk me, so they got to keep up with me, and they're losing, they're mad. It's just like I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't set y'all up. I really, this is easy. But oh, matter of fact, I do got video. It's the haters. Yeah, Oh, this is black folks can't get along right here. I forgot about this right one. Right here, the jealous. This just happened. I got it on video. Remember the one I just made? I came out I was in the I ordered, and then I went over to the supermarket to buy some Monster Energy and some Jimmy Dean frozen sausage, whatever, breakfast bowl for lunch. I'm gonna eat it for lunch. And then when I got back, he was waiting on me. I got it on video on my camera, but I ain't finna pull all that shit up. And he just as usual. Soon as I pull up, he's sitting there the whole time, sitting in the car. So as soon as I pull up, then he opens the door and gets out. He all decked out in red. That's what I'm saying. All these fake, it's over, bruh. This shit ain't no more real Crips and Blood since the 90s. I don't care what you say. I don't care what nobody say. I said it. You're phony. You just got on a red outfit and you look like a red clown. You a fucking wannabe clown. You a clown. That's the end of it. It's the haters. Yeah, you know why niggas ain't got shit? Black folks can't get along right here. Right here, Dad. Yeah, you see, he just put his head down. He ain't got nothing to say. He just put his fucking head down, like the clown he is. All right, so this is the line. Right there, really nothing on the line. But basically, you just picking. I'm gonna get a better shot tomorrow. But you just picking, and yeah, they pay 16. This week we might get, I don't know, maybe hopefully about 800. And you just think, but it's fast, and that right there was just the beginning. And you're just picking out the trash. So it's all the pieces of a car. A whole car has been beat up, and you know how many thousands of cars been beat up. And you just making sure it's just at that, by the time it gets to that point, everything else supposed to be separate. We're getting the last final parts and keeping just the wires and pieces of metal. And so there's some more. See, those the Migos. That's what I'm talking about. The Migos, you know, like I said, they that was yesterday, right? The Migos, yeah, they even got a little female. And I felt bad today because we ain't take no break. I was like, I know she up there dying, all of them dying. And like I said, I know they ain't signed on for that. But we'll see tomorrow. We ain't signed on for this, they speaking Spanish and shit. That's some more. And that's more the Migos, and that's the one that asked me for my car. You can't really see it, but and so they still putting that shit together. They took it apart. They took all that shit apart and putting it back together, and it's not working. And so yeah, oh, also yeah, see, look, they got out. Everybody got on red now, red shorts and red this, all of, but you still. What is that supposed to mean? None of y'all. What did y'all have some initiation when y'all went over? What was the initiate? What did y'all do when y'all went over? So everybody running around with red on, they still broke. Fake ass motherfuckers. But anyway, you know, it's like it's funny. So that means the Bloods, y'all just a bunch of clowns now. Y'all just let people perpetrate. But like I said, that means is like I said, it's over. That shit been over. All these new whatever the fuck you supposed to be is over. It's like a little way too late. It's a little tiny bit too late to jump on the bandwagon. It's like, but anyway, he running around, this and that, and ain't got no money. But anyway, the good thing is, like I said, we this shit running. So I guess today we got 10 hours. And honestly, I tell the truth. The reason I can work them like that is not just my training, is that I know I don't have to be there in a couple of weeks. If I want to go on, like I said, I can go on. But this isn't, what I got to do. So I could burn myself out for these couple of weeks. And they're trying to keep up. I'm not being mean, but it's like, y'all need to, yeah, exactly. Instead of gang stalking me, so they won't say anything. None of them will act like they're tired, trying to keep up with me. But I ain't got to do that. I'm fresh. I'm not mentally stressed out. Physically, yeah, it's tired, but I can just go through it. First of all, I'm trained to do that. That's part of being a paratrooper. So I'm trained to go through the pain, but it ain't that painful. Plus, I also nowadays I know to buy stuff that make the job comfortable. So that's why I'm after 10 hours of them doing that shit, I'm out here talking shit. And they still keep wearing cheap shoes, cheap boots, and they won't listen. So hey, it's all fine with me. So, like I said, y'all can keep sending people looking sad and acting broke and this and that. Well, not acting broke, showing that they're broke. And I'm just gonna laugh and point out, on top of being broke, living your whole life broke, you're gonna burn in hell for practicing witchcraft. I like how y'all try to lie and say you're Christian. Like I said, yeah, dude, that's what poor boy. That's why I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm gonna tell him tomorrow at lunch. Don't fuck with Steve Harvey. Don't do. He pulled it because like what do you say? The bosses, but Steve Harvey, one of y'all. I would tell him, dude, don't pull up that shit. No, don't listen to. He's a clown. He's a devil worshiper. It's like you too big, bro. He's a big old country boy, big old country white boy. He's like, yeah, I listen to Steve. No, bro, don't listen to Steve Harvey. I watched what he showed, and they older than me, but I had to school them, and I'm gonna school them some more tomorrow. Like, nah, bro, put that shit down. Steve Harvey ain't the one. That is a that is a ticket straight to hell, along with Steve Harvey. But they make money. That's fine. So at least they're not broke because they're the contractors. That's going, that's putting it together. So they ain't gonna be there too much longer once everything get running right. So they got money, but I guess he's scared. Oh, because also they they're doing the shit about they trying to hint Americans have it, don't know how good they have it, or they ain't. I'm like, bro, don't say. I'm gonna tell them tomorrow again. Don't say that shit no more. it's gonna get to the point where y'all go. It's like a movie. Y'all are traitors. If you start trying to say that this communist shit, that means you want down with America. You're no different than one of them Islam people, the extremists that say death to America. That's what you're doing when you try to hint and say Americans have it too good. Like, bro, don't ever say that shit no more in your life. I'm gonna tell him to his face. That's what you're saying. Because we had a discussion. I'm gonna say this one right quick. And like I said, I immediately. That's how you know people with faith. First of all, he said some things that you could tell he don't even know where it come from. He started talking about, yeah, this thing is, they're talking about, you're gonna have the number and this. I said, oh, you're talking about Revelations. He looked like he ain't have a clue. He was talking about Revelations, but he's like, he just heard it. He heard what everybody else talk about, meaning he don't know the verse. He don't know nothing. But anyway, so then we start talking, and I said something about homeless. I said, oh, this is the bullshit they keep telling y'all about helping other people. I'm like, if you're gonna help, and I gave him an actual verse that Jesus Christ himself said. I said, you don't give a man a fish, you teach him to fish. And he just, he looked like, okay, like either he heard it or he don't know where it come from or he never heard it. And I was like, he asked me something about homeless. I said, I tell him, I said, depending on how I feel, if I feel good, I give him a couple of dollars. But if I don't, hey man, I'm telling him, get the fuck out my face. And he said, oh, my wife, this the big country boy, the big one. He's like, I think my wife would say, well, what if it was Jesus, kind of like an angel in disguise? I said, well, first of all, Jesus know why I said it. And I told him another verse, and he still didn't catch on. I said, because God knows the hearts of men. So he don't know. I just went about 10 different verses that he don't know none of that shit. I'm like, God knows your heart, so he knows why I did it. And like I said, that's why I told him to get out of my face, because he need to be somewhere learning to fish, meaning getting a job, so he don't have to keep asking for fish every day. And that shit just went over his head. That's when the other guy, gave me a compliment, all this and that, da 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 da. Because at first they thought they was, but I just shut them down immediately. Like, bro, don't even start this gang stalker shit. But like I said, since they country boys and not these soy boys that walk around here, they back down. Like I said, dude, real big. He big old country boy. And but I'm like, I gotta finish tomorrow because I can't leave him hanging like that. I gotta. Anybody else, I wouldn't say nothing, but he cool, so I gotta explain some more. Like, bro, don't do that. And I'm like, another thing, instead of listening to Steve Harvey, the clip he showed me and this and that, I'm like, Steve Harvey, he immediately, and I wasn't trying to do it, everything I said came from the Bible. He showed me a clip of Steve Harvey, and he just talking shit, about atheists, how you believe, that you don't believe in God. He didn't say nothing biblical, and I'm gonna tell him, bro, if you really want to learn, go to a real teaching church, look it up, that teaches the Bible. Not prosperity, not none of that other shit. Make sure they teach. Really, I recommend the King James. You just gotta deal with it and learn. You gotta learn. You gotta learn on your own, like I did, and everybody else will. Really, it wasn't that hard for me because I grew up in King James churches. Since I guess my whole life. Before I even knew I was alive. But anyway. I'm like, bro, he didn't say nothing. All he said was, how are you a Christian if you atheist or some bullshit? I'm like, bro, he ain't say nothing from the Bible. And I don't, and like I said, you still got to be careful with that, because the devil knows the Bible too. But it really is simple. That's why I told him. That's another thing I told him. I said, this is simple. The devil is stupid. We see that now. This shit is super simple. They're idiots. Everything is about, trying to compete and acting like somebody else thinks they're better than them. Basically, like, you putting us down. And why don't? That's why I just immediately like told them all this. You got to help the home. I said they're phony. Yeah, matter of fact, I said it to his face. I said they're phonies. And I guess He knows some people what I'm talking about. I said, they're phony, man. All this, you got to help the homeless and this and that. I'm like, and he's talking about like, I heard that before. The bum you walked over. What if it was an angel in disguise? Or he said Jesus. I'm like, nah, Jesus. The Bible don't say nothing about Jesus playing games like that. And secondly, what the Bible does say, he knows your heart. So if you had any faith, Jesus knows why I told him, get the fuck out of my face. That's a fact. So you can argue. And like I said, I'm not going to argue with you. That I have faith in what I say. You're trying to convince other people. I'm not trying to convince y'all. I speak as a matter of fact, and you're not going to change my opinion. You can laugh, you can giggle. I don't give a fuck. I just keep moving and rolling over your asses. That's another thing. I just keep rolling over you. See what I'm saying? Because you have no faith. That's why it's going down like this. But let me get up out of here. I gotta go eat this Chinese food.